After a night of confusion and suspense, former Mayor Pete Buttigieg is the surprising leader in the Iowa caucuses with 2/3 of the votes counted. A third remains outstanding. Hello, I'm Arnold Knight, and this is The Heat. Late on Tuesday, the Iowa Democratic Party finally released some results from Monday's Iowa caucuses. Officials blame technology problems for the delay in tabulating the vote. For more, we turn now to CGTN's Dan Williams. He's in Des Moines, Iowa. So Dan, an embarrassing start for the Democrats in this nominating process in the race for the White House. Take us through the results and why it's taken so long.
Yeah, as you say, hugely embarrassing, chaotic confusion here in Des Moines, Iowa, but finally we now have some results to talk about. 62% of the precincts have now released those results, and as you say, it is a slight surprise. Pete Buttigieg there with 26.9% of the vote so far. I have to stress so far. Not far behind Bernie Sanders with 25.1%, so that could of course flip given that there's still 38% left of the vote still to go. And then get this, Elizabeth Warren in third with 18.3%, Joe Biden therefore, the former vice president, out in fourth with 15.6% of the vote. So a number of questions still to come. It's still a confusing picture that could change significantly in the coming days once we get the full set of results. But for now, Pete Buttigieg really has plenty to celebrate.
He said that about a couple minutes just before those results were
released. A campaign that some said should have no business even making this attempt has taken its place at the front of this race to replace the current president with a megabudget.
So plenty for Pete Buttigieg to celebrate, but as far as the Iowa caucuses are concerned, well, here it's really still a desperate situation. We still don't have the full set of results. It could change. That could bring yet further confusion. We heard from Iowa Chair a little earlier, Troy Price, where he unreservedly apologized for this delay and said it was unacceptable. But of course, here we are still 24 hours later and still with this confusing picture. But for now, Pete Buttigieg very much the winner.
Dan, looking ahead, what does it mean for these leading candidates in the upcoming primaries?
Well, you have to have some sympathy for Pete Buttigieg, given the fact that he, of course, missed out on a 24-hour window of huge media publicity that would have been across every single front page, no doubt, across America. That was denied to him. Will that impact on his campaign? So although it is still positive for him, he has missed out on that media publicity. And then, of course, probably more importantly, the extra funding that potentially would have gone with that as well. Of course, only in time will we find the full impact of this, but that will be one question. But I was speaking to a political pundit ahead of the Iowa caucuses, and he said, look, it's not important necessarily to win in Iowa, but you have to have a good performance, and that therefore puts a huge question mark against Joe Biden finishing down in fourth place. There were some polls that suggested he could be tied for the lead going into the caucuses, so that was a bit of a surprise. It wasn't necessarily his strongest state. He has got some strong states still to come, but there is now pressure on his campaign, and if he doesn't start winning some states soon, then that really will start leading to further doubts of funding as well. So yeah, very interesting set of results here, but of course remember there are still some further results still to come here.
Thanks, Dan. That's CGTN's Dan Williams reporting from Des Moines, Iowa.